Hello, people of the internet, this is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. You are watching Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, with the restored content modification. Previously on KotOR 2, we explored the dormitories on the Peragus Mining Facility, and we also reunited with Atton and Kreia, who are now travelling with us as actual party members. And you might be wondering why I'm heading this way first of all, despite the fact that the plot is insisting we carry on because of the scarier aspects of Peragus coming into the forefront. However, before I progress to the next area, I do want to actually just double check a few things, which I don't normally do when I'm not recording this, but I'm going to do it anyway. First of all, I want to see who has the best treat injury skill. So I've got 6, Atton's got none, Kreia has 11. So what you want to do, and I'm not quite sure why Kreia's all the way back here, you want to use the character who's got the best amount of skill to build stuff and create items and break stuff down. So what can we do with Kreia? We can... Well, let's have a look at the breakdown items first of all. What don't we need, if anything? We could break some mines down, but I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to keep all this stuff for now, so that's fine. We could build advanced med packs, which would be useful, but not necessary. There's a couple of implants we could build, and I am tempted by a few of these, but I don't think we need them just yet. So I think we'll be okay. And again, these are the other stuff you can build. As I've said previously, I've never actually bothered to use the lab station or the workbench to do anything with. It's very weird considering how many years I play this game. I've never actually bothered to do anything along those lines. Now you'll notice that I've already got burst of speed enabled. Anytime you use either your character or Kreia with powers that buff you up, it also affects the other character. That gets explained later on, but I just thought I'd throw it in there now in case you were wondering why I had burst of speed on despite not turning it on. Here's the stealth field generator we could have picked up earlier, but as we didn't have any security points, I waited until now to use Atton.
What is it?
And Kreia seems to be lagging behind every single time for some reason. But let's move on to where we're actually supposed to go, and to make the plot actually make sense, we can now go up here because this room is now open. And be prepared to be introduced to a whole new gameplay mechanic that this game introduces, which the first Knights of the Old Republic game didn't have.
Something is wrong. I sense no one on board.
You sense no one on board? Sense any assassin droids creeping up behind us like last time?
Everyone here has been slain, yet there are few signs of battle. No carbon scoring, no blaster fire. This place has been hit by assassins of a different sort.
Then what are we doing on this ship? We were better off in the facility. You two are supposed to be Jedi? You two are the worst Jedi I've ever met.
Well, technically we're not really Jedi. So there's a whole list of options we can pick from here, and I'm going to be slightly accusational here. Maybe you'd like it back in your cell.
Maybe I would. At least I was safe there.
We cannot go back into the facility. If the assassin machine was correct, then we cannot reach the hangar. Be silent. I need some time to think.
I saw this vessel dock. In fact, I really did see it dock because it took ages.
Look, I don't mean to cast another shadow on this, but even if you could reach the ship you came in on, it wouldn't matter. You'll need the orbital drift charts to clear the Peragus asteroid field, unless you want to have the shortest flight out of Peragus ever recorded.
Then how did this dock here?
Well, of course they have the asteroid drift charts in their Navicomputer. They'd have to.
So let's get their codes then. Then we can worry about reaching the Ebon Hawk.
Well, we'd have to get to the bridge. I mean, well, that's the biggest problem I can see.
That is a sound plan for the moment. Let us go.
Here is where this new gameplay mechanic gets introduced, and it's the form of the influence gain or influence loss. It's the influence mechanic, essentially. And what's interesting about it is it really impacts on how you play the game and how you respond and how you talk to certain characters. It's very interesting. So again, the higher your influence with a companion, the more your alignment affects theirs. An extreme high and low influence with a companion can open up additional dialogue choices. There you go.
Our enemies gather while we wait here.
And here's an opportunity where you can get either influence with Kreia or Atten. Normally I go with Atten, but I'm going to actually just go with Kreia this time. Forgive me, Kreia. I was distracted for a moment. I'll be more mindful of the present.
Very well.
Okay, I was tempted to rub it into Atten a little bit more, but I kind of want the influence at the moment. And we got some light side points for that. So Atten was being a drama queen about getting to the bridge. Let me just show you something, Atten. Come over here. Come over here. Right. Let's open this door. Here's the bridge. This is the bridge. We were literally 10 steps away from it. In fact, if we look at the map, yeah, this was the bridge. This is where we came in, and here's the bridge. And Atten was making a big deal about getting to the bridge. You idiot. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Navi computer, and we're going to have a look at that. So let's repair it and download the orbital drift charts. There we go. That's one problem solved. Let's have a look at these logs. There's 4 of them, so we're going to be here for quite a while. I'll edit these together.
We have taken on passengers to Telos.
Sir, we've just received an emergency broadcast. A freighter under attack by Sith forces.
Can you get an ID on the ship?
Yes, sir. We have its ID signature. It's not in our databanks, but its profile suggests some low-stock freighter. Says it's being hit hard by a Sith warship. Sir?
I'll need to confirm with command before we move to intercept. Report.
The Sith warship is empty, sir. We attached an umbilical and sent 3 strike teams through it, and there's no sign of a crew or its commander.
There's no one on board? What about the escape pods?
They're still in their berths, sir. This place, it's empty. It's like a ghost ship.
Then who was firing at the freighter?
We don't know, sir. The freighter's empty, too. We did a clean sweep and nothing except a lone T3 unit, badly damaged. Did you still want tractor beams to the Harbinger?
Search the freighter and the warship one more time. If they're clean, then we'll tractor the freighter over.
Yes, sir.
No idea why the Admiral thought that freighter worth all the effort, but we'll find out.
Everyone in the Ebon Hawk was dead, sir. We're starting autopsies within the hour.
What about that Sith corpse we retrieved from the warship?
We haven't had a chance to fully examine it, sir. He looks human, but he's fractured in several places.
Then keep me posted. Something's wrong here, and I want to know where all those Sith on the warship went. We're still experiencing a problem with the communications array, and now maintenance is telling me there's a cascade failure in the weapons.
Sir, I just picked up an unusual sound from MedLab.
Ah!
I have come for the Jedi.
What the hell was that?
Sir, I don't know. Communications just got cut.
Send a security team to MedLab, now!
Okay, so that was interesting. A couple of things happened on the Harbinger that wasn't pleasant, and we missed all of it because we were unconscious or incapacitated with Atten. So what we want to do now is we want to carry on through the Harbinger, and one thing I really love about the Harbinger part of the game is it's even more tense than Peragus was. And I liked Peragus, so the Harbinger really ramps up the tension here, and it's going to get even more tense in a moment's time. I can't remember where the exact trigger is, but it's going to be very soon. You can see the corpses here, and I think the moment we step in here, do we get attacked? No? Okay, I think it's very soon though. Oh, there we go. Right. You're going to notice a slight difference here with a mod I've installed, which makes the Sith assassins, who are already quite scary in the sense that they're invisible to you until the last moment, I've downloaded a mod that makes them just that little bit more interesting to deal with, and hopefully a little bit harder. So let's see how this goes. As you can see, we're taking loads of damage here, and I'm already dead. Wow, okay, this is actually much harder than it normally is.
More where that came from.
Focus.
Time to take you down to size.
Okay, so we've had our first death of the game, kind of. As in, I was actually knocked out.
What is it?
And we're all incredibly weak. Now, one of the reasons why I downloaded the mod I did was to make the Sith assassins just that little bit more difficult, and also to make them more threatening than they normally are, because normally they just have blades and you can deal with them no problem. I downloaded this mod which made them have half of a lightsaber, and it really makes this even more tense than it really, that it should be. And we haven't got heal yet either, so what I'm actually going to do is put energy shields on, because this is going to be quite painful. And we do need some med kits, or med packs. And this annoying glitch has come back, the click on a party member's portrait. I really hate this bug. It only exists at the beginning of the game, but it's annoying when it does crop up. Anyone knows anything about it, please let me know, because that is definitely not the normal behaviour for when you use items. So we'll carry on. And that mod I downloaded was actually inspired by Star Wars The Force Unleashed, which is a game I don't actually like. I think it's a terrible Star Wars game, and I'll go into reasons why I don't like it in a minute once I've just cleared out this next bit, because I think more of them are going to show up. Well, I was expecting more of them to show up, but clearly not. Here we go. Let's see if we don't die this time.
Let us end this.
It would help if we weren't missing all the time. And it would probably be better if we were using swords. And we've leveled up. So, the mod in question that I've downloaded for the Sith Assassins is a pike lightsaber, which is essentially half a lightsaber mixed with a sword. And it was inspired by certain enemies from Star Wars The Force Unleashed. And it's a game I really don't like for a number of reasons. One, primarily because I was hyped for it before it came out, because LucasArts were hyping it up as the next best Star Wars game. And I'm just debating what to put my points into. I think I'm going to need... For this next bit, I think I'm going to actually go retreat injury. So, LucasArts were hyping up The Force Unleashed quite significantly, to the point where I fell for the hype, and I do admit that. And I'm just debating what feat to go with. Okay, we'll go for the class skill, because I do need that. I know I should be upgrading some combat ones, and we've got 2 force powers. So, Effect Mind will leave for now, but Force Deflection I'm definitely going to want. And I'm also going to go for Cure, because I definitely need that, or Heal rather. Yeah, it's not Cure in this, is it? Okay, it's Heal. So, there we go. Atton and Kreia will probably level up very shortly. So, LucasArts were hyping up the Force Unleashed a lot, and we can't use the escape pods, to the point where I fell for the hype, and all the E3 trailers and all the teasers and all the marketing for it, it looked fantastic. Then I played the actual game and I thought it sucked. And it might be because I played the PlayStation 2 version, because I didn't have a PlayStation 3 at the time. So I was playing the PS2 version. Yes. And I remember thinking it was really anticlimactic. The entire game, it didn't feel good. It didn't compare to Knights of the Old Republic 1, didn't compare to Knights of the Old Republic 2, didn't compare to the Jedi Knight series, especially the Jedi Knight series, because the combat in the Jedi Knight series was fantastic, particularly in Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, which had improved a lot from Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 in terms of combat. But it felt like The Force Unleashed had taken a step back with the combat, because it should have been equal to or better than the Jedi Knight series lightsaber combat. Kreia's getting stuck again for some reason. This is a glitch that does happen with characters in Knights of the Old Republic 2 occasionally, so you have to be aware of that. And when I played The Force Unleashed, I just felt so bored playing it, which I don't really want from a game. Regardless of how interesting the story might be or how interesting the Star Wars universe is portrayed, I don't want to be bored playing a Star Wars game. And The Force Unleashed did that. I didn't play it again for several years until I ended up with it on Steam for a second time. Yeah, well, I say a second time. The second time I owned The Force Unleashed was on Steam. And I gave it another chance, and whilst the PC version was better, I still didn't like it that much.
I hear you.
And I think I was more gypped because I had paid about 40 quid for the PlayStation 2 version, and I felt conned. And this was at a time when I didn't have a consistent source of income or anything, so it felt horrible. And is that gun good? Let's have a look. No, it is. Well, it's a little bit better. We'll give Atton this. because he should be a bit more Han Solo-esque. But I know there are people that like The Force Unleashed, and if you do, that's absolutely fine. I just think it's a terrible game, and I don't think it's a great Star Wars experience. That was the time when it came out in 2008. I was, I'd just finished school and everything, and I was going to college and various other things. And I felt that was the first time in Star Wars history that I remember thinking, Star Wars is really tired now. Because before then, you'd had the prequels, you had the original trilogy, special editions, you had loads of great Star Wars games by a variety of different developers. And then The Force Unleashed came out, and I just thought, this is crap. Like, this is actually one of the worst games I've ever played. And not to say it's the worst ever game I've ever played, because it certainly isn't, but it's not. It's one of my least favourite Star Wars games ever made. I would rather play the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace game, than play The Force Unleashed. That's how serious I take it. Because I know everyone will be like, you prefer the Phantom Menace game over The Force Unleashed? Are you crazy?
Yes.
Yes, I am crazy. And Craig's just answered that for you. Yes, I am crazy. I'd rather play the Phantom Menace game than ever play The Force Unleashed ever again. And we've got more Sith Assassins. But one of the things I did like from The Force Unleashed was this whole lightsaber pipe deal. So I did actually take that from The Force Unleashed, and I gave it to these Sith Assassins when that mod became available. Because there is another mod which gives the Sith Assassins a single lightsaber blade, but it kind of defeats the point of them using double blades like they normally do. Whereas this mod feels a little bit closer to their original intentions. So that's why I've downloaded that. And again, here's where we were, just but the other side. So now that we've got Cure, let's use that. There we go. Don't have to worry about med packs now. They're pretty much irrelevant for the vast majority of the game at this point. But I really like the Harbinger. It's one of my favourite locations in the game because it's incredibly dark. It's darker than Peragus is. And one thing that I feel that this game does miss on playing it on a much higher resolution, and this is something I'll talk about once I'm running around the table a lot, I do apologise. I'll talk about this once I've gone through the logs here. So there's, again, 4 of them. If you hear me speak during one of them, you'll know why, but I'm going to edit these together now.
We've been diverted from Onderon to the Outer Rim. There's not enough ships out there, and we're already hard-pressed to keep patrolling the regions under our jurisdiction. I'm afraid we're going to lose it all. There's just not enough ships and too much territory to cover. We're still rebuilding from the war with Malak, and sometimes I wonder if we'll ever recover. Still, we have our orders, and the Republic's put the highest priority on this mission. Looks like the trouble on Onderon will have to wait. As ordered, we've picked up the passengers from the Outer Rim and have made quarters for them. Once aboard, we've plotted a course for Telos. We expect to arrive within 10 standard days, provided there's no mishaps. I've been ordered to give the passenger no special treatment, nor make any indication of his identity. I have some reservations about turning the Harbinger into a passenger liner, but the orders were clear. Whoever this passenger is, he's got diplomatic-level priority, whether he knows it or not. We picked up a distress signal and are sending a message to the Republic for permission to investigate. We have also transmitted the damaged vessel's ID signature to the Republic. According to the message, it's being pursued by Sith forces. There's no match for the vessel in our databanks, but the profile of the distress signal suggests it's a stock freighter of some kind. We'll only know for sure when we arrive, and we'll find out if the signal's genuine or a trap. We wanted to check with you, sir, before diverting course from Telos. There appears to be some battle that has taken place in the sector, and we've received a distress signal.
You have permission to divert course.
Wake up!
There's a Sith presence in the region. I want you to investigate. The ID signature on the freighter. Did you get confirmation on it?
Yes, sir. We did not have the vessel listed in our databanks, so we transmitted the code to you. Was there a match?
There was, Captain. If you find any trace of that vessel, even wreckage, I want it.
Yes, sir.
After you've investigated the sector, resume course to Telos with the passenger. It is of the highest importance that he reach Telos.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure he arrives intact.
Good hunting, Captain. Admiral Onasi out.
Sometimes I wonder if the right hand of the Republic knows what the left hand is doing. I'm always being kept in the...
Query. You sent for me, Captain.
Yes, I need you to check on the passenger again, see if there's anything he needs. Try not to be too obvious about it. His safety is our top concern.
Statement. I shall use the utmost discretion, Captain. As always, it is my pleasure to serve.
And there's the HK droid pretending to be a protocol droid, and everyone's fell for it for some reason. And that's it. So we got a couple more experience points for that. Now, what was I saying earlier? Oh, one of the things you can definitely tell from that, we definitely set up the ending from the first Knights of the Old Republic game where we saved the Republic, because that's why Karth showed up in a cameo role. If you played the dark side ending, which I did show off in the first Knights of the Old Republic Let's Play, then you get a completely different character who's got a generic NPC face, and I can't remember his name. I think it's something like Admiral Seed or Admiral Cade or something. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce his name, but you get him and he's just a generic NPC who has the exact same lines but is nowhere near as cool as Karth. Because let's be honest, Karth was awesome in the end. Despite being a whinger for the first half of the game, he was pretty chill. So, we're going to carry on. As I was saying earlier, one of the things that this game does lose on when you play this on a much higher resolution, on much more modern monitors, is the actual creepy aspect. And I will... Oh god, we're actually getting thrashed here. Oh dear, okay. Kreia, we're getting destroyed. Quick, I haven't actually saved in ages. This is bad. Put a shield on. This is why playing on Oh, Atton's come back to life. Good, because of his ability, which makes him slightly overpowered. And then he's dead again. Right. Run. Fortunately, Kreia is actually quite powerful, so we can actually stall this for quite a while. And Atton's distracting the others, which is good. Actually, just... Oh, we actually died! No! Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna have to play through all that again. One interesting thing I forgot to talk about whilst I was playing through this bit again. This blast door here never opens. You can never get access to this room. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if content was intended to be there or not. But it's just an unopenable door. So just thought I'd throw that out there whilst I'm playing through this again. And I am going to end up with completely different gear this time because of various things like the random generated loot. The random generated loot that always appears in this game. So let's see if I end up with that cool gun again I gave Atton. No, I didn't. But I do get cool armour. So it's, you know, I'll take it. And I've also realised that last time I was still using the gun that was effective against droids, so I've switched back to an actual gun. So hopefully we'll be a bit more durable this time. I'll return again once I've got back to the bit where I died at. We're back at the stage where we died last time. So as you can see, we're already weakened still by the last battle we had. I made the Sith assassins much harder than they used to be, because normally they weren't a problem. Now I'm dying a lot, and it's probably also because I haven't got anybody who's using a sword, so I think I may actually swap for this. Preferably not with a plasma torch. So we're going to give that a try and see how that goes. I'm going to make a save, like I should have done the last time I played this. Let's carry on, and before we go, I need to use heal. And I'm also going to put on the buffs, because that was another reason why we died. We weren't using any buffs. So this is where we died last time. Hopefully it's not going to happen again. Atton seems to lose his shields really quick, I've noticed as well, which doesn't help matters, but whatever. As you can see, the lightsaber blades are doing a lot more damage than the normal weapons would, so that's why we're losing quite significantly. But yeah, that's better. We dealt with that a lot more effectively than before.
What is it?
Oh, I'm using the Peragus Mining Shield. No wonder I look different. Okay, let's just heal everybody back up. I can't believe I had my first death on the Harbinger. That's terrible. I need to remember to start keeping saves because I've just had to play back through all of that again.
Just say the word.
So let's move on to the Harbinger crew quarters where things apparently went down. So let's go. And here we are. There's a couple of rooms we can explore here, and one of them has some significance for our character, which will trigger a cutscene once we get there. It's actually in the next corridor, so let me just explore these areas and then we'll
say the word.
Carry on. Atten is now my security mule because he's got the best security, so I'm using him to get everything. Pheromone package, what does that do? It gives extra persuade and charisma. I am actually tempted by that because no, you know what, I'll leave that because I think I've got pretty good persuade anyway, so it's not too much of a big deal. So here a cutscene's going to get triggered.
Are you alright?
Apart from the fact I died, yeah, pretty good. These were my quarters.
This was your room? When?
Before I lost consciousness and broke up on Peragus.
We do not have much time. Whatever you intend to do, do it quickly.
Yes, Mom. Okay, Mom. Right, so here we get a unique item. Our own armband. And we also get a data pad. What does that say? Joan Corral, you are requested to report to the Harbinger Medical Bay for routine examination. The routine is automated. Simply insert this datapad into the medical computer to receive your injections. That's easy enough. So I'm going to put that armband on because it actually does offer 1 extra constitution, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider it in terms of the actual game, that's not actually a bad deal. So if I take that off just to demonstrate, we have 13 at the moment, but if we put it back on, we actually get an extra bit of constitution. So as you can see, if you were focusing on upgrading constitution, it really adds up over time.
Let me take care of this. Damn thing's stuck.
Skill too low, eh? Let's try that again. Okay, the door's still not opening. So I'm going to have to bash this with the plasma torch, because we do want to get access to this room. And let's switch the weapon back. And we've got 1 openable container, which offers a repair kit. Probably wasn't worth breaking into, to be honest, but oh well. And why are my quarters still unexplored? There we go. I gotta say, I don't like it when I have an unexplored part of the map. I'm a bit OCD that way. Right, this looks like a room where Sith assassins are going to show up based on the corpses. So let's boost ourselves up and hope for the best. And I forgot I had energy resistance. How on earth did I forget I had that? It's probably because I never normally go for it. Okay, let's give this another try.
More where that came from.
It also doesn't help I'm missing a lot because I'm using flurry, and my flurry's not very good at this stage of the game. Right, regular attack it is.
More where that came from.
Thank you for that well-timed heal, Kreia. That was very good of you. I have to say, downloading this mod to make the Sith assassins have half lightsabers really makes this more difficult, so I'm glad I downloaded it now, even though it made me have to replay through the entire bit again. But that was my own fault because I didn't save. So now we just gotta be very careful about what we do. Kreia can have my vibra cutter, and I can go back to ranged. That seems like a good deal. That seems like a good trade-off to me.
I hear you.
Kreia, I need you to boost us up, which does get explained as to why that's a possibility later on. Okay, let's go. What I also have to remember is Kreia's very good at actually using the Force, so most of the time her hits are successful. As you can see, she pretty much incapacitated all of these Sith assassins, which is very good, because her wisdom and charisma is so high. There we go, that's so much better. Why wasn't I playing like that earlier? I'm not even going to pay attention to how long I've been recording this time, because I know there's been about 5 or 10 minutes worth of footage I can immediately cut because of having to play through that one bit again. But yeah, just take your time, explore the Harbinger, and just be prepared for anything that can kill you, because especially with this mod I've downloaded, these guys are a lot more dangerous. It does lose its sort of vibe after a while though, because you just expect Sith assassins to crop up every time you see corpses, so it really loses the whole creepy aspect. But either way, it's still good. And that was the one thing I was going to talk about, wasn't it? Which I forgot because I got distracted. When I first played this game back in 2005, it was around the time when CRT monitors were still a thing, and I used to have this big chunky CRT monitor that was so heavy to pick up if you wanted to pick it up. I think it's gone now, I think it's been recycled, which is a shame because it was a cool monitor, but very dated. So this CRT monitor, it didn't support the highest resolutions apart from what was available at the time. And it also was very dark to look at. It wasn't as bright as this. So most of the creepy scenes in Knights of the Old Republic 2 were a lot scarier when I was 13 years old when I played this. Whereas today it doesn't really look as scary, at least to me. It's the same thing with Blu-rays in comparison to videos, and same with DVDs, I suppose you could add. DVDs and Blu-rays brightened up certain dark scenes on some films, whereas video and the grain that video offered made it a lot more intense. So an example I can think of is Disney's Beauty and the Beast. All the castle scenes on video looked particularly creepy, and it actually was quite scary to watch as a kid. When I watch it on Blu-ray now, because those scenes are a lot more high res and because they're a bit brighter, it doesn't really creep me out as much. Maybe it's because I've grown up, I don't know. But medical console, let's access this and let's insert the data pad. So 3.5 days ago things happened, and during my last medical exam I was administered a delayed sedative that would kill a normal human being. Okay, and then that's what made me unconscious. Fine. And it looks as if someone forgot to lock out the treatment request once administered. So let's identify the KotOR tank, which doesn't really say much as far as I can remember. K-game, you can skip it now. Yeah, it just tells you where it is. It's not really that useful. Let's get some chemicals, which we now have, and let's look at the medical logs, of which there were 3.
Something's wrong. Ever since we picked up that Sith firefight in the region, crewmen haven't been reporting for their shifts, and I can't reach people on the comm. The strange thing is, I keep feeling like someone's watching us here in the ship, but I can't see anyone. I don't like this. Checking the survivor from the Sith vessel. I'm not sure whether he's alive or dead, or what's even keeping him together. His flesh is cracked and scarred, and I'm registering several thousand fractures in his skeleton, as if each bone was splintered repeatedly over time, then put back together. Judging from the scar tissue, I believe these wounds took place before his death. If so, he must have been in constant pain. I have no idea what's been keeping him together. This is the medical officer. The soldiers sent to the medical bay have just died. I don't know where the subject went. I think he's gone to find more of the crew. With him are Sith. They just appeared right out of thin air, like they were wearing stealth generators, but I think they were always on board. When we stopped to pick up that freighter, they must have come on board the Harbinger. I have no idea how many are on the ship. There could be only a few, or as many as 100. And with communications cut off, we can't call for help. I think that thing in the tank was a Sith Lord, alive the whole time, waiting for something to wake him up.
Okay, so they're talking about a Sith Lord. Interesting. We can look into that a little bit more with the camera recordings. That was an impressive leap, to be fair. There we go. So we got some experience points for that. Only 100, which is a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. This KotOR tank, you can actually get in it to heal any wounds you have, but we're not going to do that. So I know I should be switching to this cool armour here. Well, I've actually got 2 sets of cool armour, but for the sake of consistency, I want to stay in the same clothes throughout because it feels a bit more realistic that way. I don't like the idea of getting changed in the middle of all this. But, you know, we've got plenty of opportunities to dress completely differently throughout the game, so it's all good. My plan is I'm never going to... Ooh, that's some good armour. I might give that to somebody later on. One of the things about this game that I'm definitely not going to do is I'm not going to wear any robes whatsoever. Because my character is going to be anti-Jedi in various ways, I don't want to actually give him anything that resembles a robe if I can. Because he doesn't want to have anything to do with the Jedi. He doesn't want to have anything to do with lightsabers or anything. I just want him to be completely anti-Jedi as much as possible. So I'm going to boost myself up again because I feel as if I need to. I do not have a shield on me, which is not a good start. Let's put one on. Did I not put energy resistance on? There we go. My character's not very good at using the Force at the moment because I'm just completely unupgraded at the moment, so I'm still pretty weak. And yeah, more Sith assassins, who'd have thought? Our shield Atten's already down. Lovely. This is not going well. Kreia, use the Force. Yeah, definitely use the Force now. Come on. This is not good. Right, we're going to have to keep using this until they all start going insane. Why is this guy so good at saving them? Right, okay, that'll have to do.
Silence this one.
Fortunately, Kreia is actually really strong. Normally I don't actually level up at him, so he's usually quite weak anyway, but I'm surprised at how weak he is at the moment. It's absolutely insane. Right, I've just got back up, which is useful. And I'm going to heal everybody because, again, I need to. So here's another interesting area in the game, which I never really paid much attention to until later on. Is it this room that I'm thinking of? No, it isn't. Okay, it's another room that's on this side of the Harbinger anyway. So let's open all of this up. Atten, you're my security mule, so open them all up, please. I think we can actually upgrade some weapons now, because we're getting some actual upgradable items, so I'm going to check that out next time we see a workbench. Because there's a lab station here, which makes sense because that was the medical bay. I can't remember where the next workbench is. I need to heal. I was going back in here. I am actually going to heal my wounds at the KotOR tank, seeing as I'm a bit wounded, and I can save the Force for later on. Gives me a good opportunity to show this off. Yeah, it's literally that. It doesn't really make sense from the point of view of how much time you'd waste getting cured, but we could have healed you. Who's got the best repair skill? Because it might be me or Kreia, I think. Okay, it's me. Fine, I'm going to repair you. I should have repaired you before I went into a fight. Hopefully it's going to follow us. Yes. I've never actually used it before, particularly, but now's a good opportunity to show it off, even though there's not much left to explore. Yes, we know how the map works. So this is where we need to go. But we're going to go up here just to see what else. Yeah, okay, this is the room that I'm interested in. And I need to put shields on again, because I suspect we're going to get attacked very shortly. Right, we're fully buffed. And, oh, here we go, Sith assassins, right on cue. If there's corpses on the floor, or if there are corpses on the floor, that's when you know they're going to show up. They destroyed the droid! Are you serious? What a waste of several repair parts. I can't believe that. They just literally took out the droid. Great, thanks for that. It's not as if I wanted to use it or anything. Man, the AI was actually smart. Okay, are there going to be any more? I think that's it. Yeah, I think they're all gone. Okay, this is the room I was thinking of. So, Atten, if you can open this up for us, please.
Let me take care of this.
Right, here we go. This is going to point out the amount of stupidity that the people in this game have. So we have this droid maintenance data pad here, and 50 credits, which is quite nice. Let's have a look at it. So, I don't know whether this new HK50 droid is a gift or a curse. It's the latter. After the destruction of the previous protocol droid, when it accidentally activated that frag mine, the HK has stepped into its place without a hitch. The problem is it doesn't take commands very well, and most of the time I have no idea where it's been. There's been reports it's been sighted in the crew quarters with the captain, in maintenance, and even in the med lab of all places. And when I ask the droid about it, it gives me a smart mouth response about facilitating communication. I don't know who commissioned these HK models, but I don't like them. You guys thought it was a protocol droid. That's how stupid you are. Which is something I still don't understand, because they look completely different. Okay, so all these droids are deactivated and resemble 3CFD, or his paint job. This droid here, unlike the others, this protocol droid appears to have been purposely sabotaged. So the chances are that HK did that. And the journal entry it's just given us, yeah, it's likely the HK unit sabotaged it so it could take the protocol droid's place and have free run of the ship. HK50 was pretty smart, gotta admit. So I'm going to play for a little bit longer because, you know, I've got an idea of when I want this particular part to end, and we're going up in the world, so let's go.
I have a bad feeling about this.
There's the line. What's wrong?
Don't you feel it? Something's gonna get real wrong real quick.
How do you know that?
You don't survive on the rim as long as I have without knowing when trouble's coming.
We'll have to be careful then, but we have to keep moving.
Alright, but don't say I didn't warn you. Trust me, when it comes to staying alive, I'm rarely wrong about these things.
Atten has the special ability to sense anything that places him at risk. When he gets a bad feeling, it's recommended that you save your game. Okay, so there you get an opportunity to either gain or lose influence with Atten. For the sake of the game, I am going to gain it because losing influence isn't ideal for what I want to do. Even though it'd be more in character for me to basically have a go at him. So before I save my game, I'm going to talk to Kreia and Atten because I haven't actually talked to them yet.
What is it? This is not the time for questions.
Alright, calm down. It's time for answers. Who's pursuing us, and why?
They are assassins, and they are responsible for the attack on the Ebon Hawk and the Harbinger. I did not expect them to find us so quickly. We must escape this facility. If we remain here, then we will die.
Your cryptic standoffish routine is starting to anger me.
And your stubborn blindness to our situation is equally frustrating. I would have expected more from a war veteran, but yet you disappoint me.
Very well, let's keep moving. Okay, that's Kreia for you, and Atten.
What is it? Why are we stopping?
What do you know about Peragus? Very strange question, but what do you actually know about it?
I know we need to get out of here. Like I said, it's a minefield looking for any excuse to blow.
Can you tell me why you were locked up here at least?
Look, I'd be happy to share my whole life story when we aren't getting chased by assassin droids and Sith troops, alright?
Alright then, let's keep moving then. So there you go, you don't get many conversation opportunities with Atten and Kreia at the moment, but that makes sense given the situation we're in. I probably should have talked to them at the very beginning of the video, but I only just remembered about it now. I'm going to save my game and then we'll move on. And it's creepy cutscene time, if I remember. Yes, here we go, creepy cutscene time. Although this cutscene was a lot creepier in 2005 when I was playing this with a much lower resolution and on a CRT monitor as opposed to 1920 by 1200 resolution and on a widescreen monitor, but anyway.
I have come for the Jedi.
This battle is mine alone. I am not defenseless. He cannot kill what he cannot see, and power has blinded him long ago. Run! I shall be along shortly.
How can you be so sure, Kreia? But anyway, there you go. Kreia does a noble-looking sacrifice type thing. I'm sure we'll never see her again. You know, she looks pretty frail. She doesn't look as if she has much going for her, apart from really good force powers. But, yeah, it might just be me and Atom for the rest of the game now. We'll see. Who knows?
Take care of this.
And I did know that cutscene was coming up, so I did unequip Kreia as much as possible. And I don't actually know if that makes a difference or not. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I think you just don't have access to her stuff while she's unavailable. And there's a workbench. Good. Let's upgrade stuff. So we can upgrade the miner uniform, which we still can't because we don't have anything. And apparently we still can't upgrade stuff. We could upgrade this armor, but I want to leave that for later on. That's a real shame. I was hoping we could actually do stuff. We can't break down anything either. No, we can't. Okay. Fine. A bit annoying, but it's to be expected. We'll carry on and see what happens. Because I do want to end this soon. But, you know, not straight away. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 more bits I want to see before I actually finish off. Couple of energy shields here. You do actually have to come into this room, and I think the Sith assassins are pretty much stopped now because we've dealt with all of them. A vibroblade, okay, that'll be useful for me because the vibroblade is actually, it's not much better than the it really isn't that much better. Can I actually upgrade that on the that was an accidental misclick. I'm just going to see if I can actually upgrade that on the workbench because I might be able to. So let's just backtrack. I can. Awesome. Right, so I'm going to give this grip this, and I'm going to go for the droid one because I'm pretty sure droids are coming up again. Awesome. So I'm actually going to switch weapons. Atten, you can have my you can have this because I know droids will be coming up very shortly. And off we go. This room here you do need to use in order to go to the next place. So the engine maintenance console, prepare this, open the maintenance doors. You can't go any further if you don't do this, so let's go. We've leveled up again, which is quite nice. And both me and Atten are pretty neutral still. Because I haven't actually had many light side or dark sided points yet. Because that's how I'm playing at the moment. Now we can actually get security, so I'm actually going to upgrade that. So hopefully I can be as good as Atten if he's not around. And I'm going to go for Destroy Droid because, again, it's useful very soon. And here's where Kreia was. If you try and open the door, if I haven't demonstrated already, you can't go back in. Not quite sure what's taken them so long in there, but who knows. So that walking corpse type character we saw, he's actually one of my favourite characters in this game. And his name's not really stated so much in the game, it's just known from background materials. But his name is Darth Sion, or Darth Sion as I used to call him when I was a kid. I think it's Darth Sion anyway. And he's one of the most interesting characters in this game, but I don't want to talk about him particularly here because he will show up again multiple times throughout the game and we can emphasise on his character then. We need to access this terminal and activate the engine maintenance procedure. And there you go, that opens that. And if we log out, we get 250 experience points for that, which doesn't make sense to me considering you have to do it, but moving on. We'll go through here and see what happens.
Tell me you're joking. We are not going to cross back into the Peragus facility through the fuel line. That's crazy.
It's the only way to get around the sealed door and into the hangar where the Ebon Hawk is.
Alright, but I know I'm going to regret this.
Were you trying to do a mind trick then, Atten? Don't do that to me.
I sense you, my master. Faint. Weak.
Your senses betray you, as you betrayed me.
After all that's happened, still you live. You are difficult to kill.
For one as limited as you, perhaps. To have fallen so far and learned nothing. That is your failing.
The failure is yours. No longer do your whispers crawl within my skull. No longer do I suffer beneath teachings that weaken us. And now you run in search of the Jedi. They are all dead, save one, and one broken Jedi cannot stop the darkness that is to come.
Perhaps we shall see.
And there we go. Wasn't a particularly smart move, Crare, but there you go. You got your hand cut off.
What's wrong? Are you alright?
And apparently so did we.
Damn it, hold on, it's only a little farther. Don't give up on me now. What happened to you?
Crare, I think she was wounded. Badly.
Huh? How do you know that?
I think it was through the Force.
Look, if she's in pain, then that pain's buying us time we can't afford to waste. Especially if Sleeps with Vibroblades gets tired of playing with her and decides to use us for practice next.
Alright, let's go. I do love that line, the Sleeps with Vibroblades comment that Atton always names that, you know, Darth Scion. I always think that's a really funny comment. And look who it is. Hello.
It's a utility droid. Looks like it's been hit with an ion charge and dumped here.
I do like the subtle addition of the echo for the lines of dialogue here because of where we're based. Well played, Obsidian. I'm not going to go for the accusational line here because of the influence mechanic. So, can you travel T3? Come on then. We have to hurry. Okay, so T3 has joined your party. He has the ability to make programming spikes on demand and can also upgrade items if asked. Really useful, actually. And we still don't actually get influence from that. That's a real shame.
Just say the word.
But whatever. So we haven't seen T3 for quite a while, and we're all the same exact alignment, which I find quite interesting, because normally at this stage we wouldn't be. But recommended, yep, dexterity, that's absolutely fine. And just give points in everything. We do need to upgrade his demolitions at some point. If we can get a feat to allow him to upgrade demolitions, then that will be useful. And I believe we will now. So, yes, I do want to give a class skill for that. So, Atton is still our best demolitions person at the moment, even though T3 would be really good as an alternative, because he, you know, disables and recovers mines a lot quicker than human characters do. Oh! Okay, I forgot we're on the hardest difficulty setting, aren't we? I will take that. That's fine. I'll take it. So, yep. Control that hangar thing we just picked up. What was it? The hangar... Was it 25? Yeah, hangar 25 control conduit. That's really important. That's one of the reasons why we couldn't open the door a couple of parts ago. So, I'm going to put shields on everybody. T3 apparently doesn't have any. But we can give him some extra regeneration, which will be useful. And I think I'm going to give him another gun as well. So there we go.
Just say the word.
Right.
I hear you.
I am actually going to switch to T3 here because of his useful abilities. So we're going to shock arm a whole bunch of droids. And I am going to do Disable Droid. Because as you can see, Disable Droid is ridiculously good. And we're getting some successful hits off with Disabled Droid actually, so that's really good. Let this guy come round to us. Or not. Okay, we've got more droids coming out of nowhere. We just accidentally destroyed a mine with disabled droids, so be very careful with that. I'm going to try not to do that next time. And we've all had a negative thing happen to us. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm assuming it's an effect from the grenades. And we didn't get poisoned there because of our breath mask, so that's useful. So having gear that's equipped for dealing with droids is very useful here.
Just say the word.
I'm going to lower the difficulty and see if Atton can recover this mine. Because Because I'm pretty sure Atten has a higher demolition skill than us. Or does he not? Let's just double check. 7, 6. Oh, I have the highest. Okay, I should have been recovering mines. I must have been confusing Atten's... Yeah, still too low. What happens if I put it on easy? Can I get it then? Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to check anyway. Yep, there we go. And I've just realised that I've been playing this for way longer than I intended to. I was actually going to stop the moment we picked T3 up, but then I completely got into the game again and was doing what I, what I normally do. So what I'll do is I'll play through this one area and then I'll stop, because I think that'll be more than enough time for a part. And it might be a bit longer than an hour, but I think I can allow it for this one instance, because we're not actually too far from the exit here, so I'm just going to play a little bit longer and then stop. But I was meant to stop the moment we got T3M4 in the party, so it's my fault entirely. This is what happens when you get addicted to games and you forget that you're recording. So there's another room down here that we can destroy some droids in. And I need to put the difficulty back up to difficult, otherwise this is going to be super easy. Okay, Atten's leveled up, which is nice. We'll deal with him in a moment. And so's T3. Okay, T3, you can level up first. And we need to get your demolitions up quite a lot, so let's focus on that for now. And then Atten... Again, get all your areas up. We'll probably need to invest in treat injury for Atten at some point, but I can leave that for now. And again, there's nothing here. This area, for those of you that are interested, is this area. So we were here a couple of parts ago. This is where we met the HK unit. This room here was where we met that HK50. We're just on the opposite side of Peragus. It was essentially where T3 was destroyed earlier, but in a slightly different area. So here we've got an emergency field station, which we need to access to disable that force field up there. And then if we log out, and then I'll just clear this next area, and then we can end it there. So there's a couple of droids here. We're actually surrounded by them, so let's try and destroy them as quick as we can. I'm just going to keep using the same stuff over and over again.
I hear you.
T3's getting hurt quite a bit here, so hopefully he won't die.
More where that came from.
And there we go. We're done. I'm going to leave it there for now because we've been playing for long enough. So I shall see you in the next part where we might actually get to leave Peragus. Hopefully. So thank you very much for watching and goodbye.